It's the grab bag.
I had started watching Ultraman Cosmos, but I kind of was like, I kind of want to watch something else besides an Ultraman show so quickly after watching an Ultraman show. Especially when Ultraman Cosmos is the longest of the Ultraman series. I mean, 65 episodes. And by longest of the series, I mean the longest one I've seen so far. So I decided instead to watch a show called Andromeda because it was on TV way back in the day at the same time I was watching a lot of other shows. The only thing is, I had not seen this one before. And, to my surprise, it was a Gene Roddenberry show. He was the executive producer, and it has a little bit of Star Trek feel, a little bit, but not enough. So I'm now about halfway through the season, and I figured I'd just give my first thoughts. Um, they spend way too long on just the ship. There are too many bottle episodes. I mean, granted, it's the first season, and the dialogue is absolutely atrocious. I like the characters' backstories, but their acting is kind of annoying. And I swear to God, if I keep hearing Dylan Hunt say, the Commonwealth of Man, in like every freaking episode. Um, Finally, they got to a point where now they're starting to look into, well, what happened? So, let's backtrack a little bit. First episode, you're following Dylan Hunt. He is the commander of the ship on Andromeda, and there is a surprise attack from one of their allies who have now turned against them. And in this battle, the ship gets knocked towards a black hole. His own crewmate turns against him, and they wind up getting stuck. He kills that crewmate, and then he gets stuck in a time dilation situation. 300 years go by, and a salvage crew are there to get the ship out because they want to basically steal the ship, and they manage to free him. But now 300 years have passed. The entire Commonwealth of Man has fallen down. There's miniature empires now that are basically all at war with each other, and Dylan Hunt has decided to restart the Commonwealth of Man. And these kind of plot points are, pretty neat. He has to go and negotiate and try to get some of these other, races back on the same thing, basically to create a federation. And it's, it's really neat. The problem is that the show is set somewhere around the year 10,000, and they're constantly making relatively recent quotes with Earth. And I mean, one of the characters, Harper, literally speaks like he came straight out of the year 2000. It's that part is kind of annoying. Kind of makes me want to smash my head against the wall. Um, I think that it doesn't work for the fact that it is that far in the future. We're not talking about Star Trek's 2400. We're talking 10,000. All right. Um there are several different alien species, and then there are offshoots of humanity because several groups of humanity had gone off, and you have one group called um the Nietzscheans, which are almost halfway between the Klingon and the Vulcans. Like they kind of like fuse them a little bit. And then there's the Magog, who are aliens that are kind of like gorilla people, but they lay eggs in their victims and they're cannibalistic and stuff. They're very brutal, but one of the members of the crew is a Magog who has essentially found Christ. There's this religion, I think it's called Wayism, and he is a Wayist, and it's essentially a mix of like Christianity and Buddhism, and he doesn't want to be violent or evil. And it's, he's one of my favorite characters of the show, and I want to see a lot more with him, but there really haven't been episodes centered around his character. There have been for Becca and for Harper and for Tyr, who is a Nietzschean, but he is from the Kodiak Pride, which basically does not exist anymore, and he is slowly learning to be less like his race normally is, which are paranoid super warriors. Um, he's still the super warrior. He sort of takes on the Worf position in the show. Then there's Trance, who is from some alien species that nobody knows, and you know, of course, Andromeda has its AI. And overall, I like the show. I'm going to keep watching it. There's 5 seasons, so maybe it gets better later on. But this first season has been rough. But there's enough stuff in it that I like that I'm powering through it.